Hey there viewers, it's Charlie back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on War for Cybertron Trilogy, Earthrise Grapple. Now, just like Hoist, who I've also reviewed, this guy is pretty much a very accurate recreation of his G1 figure. And I actually mean that. I mean, you'll see during his transformation, because that is heavily based on the G1 toy. But well, let's just have a look at the packaging, because this is a War for Cybertron Trilogy figure, and I am collecting the packaging for these guys. Well, just like Hoist box, we can actually see there's a planet map in there. I didn't get it out because, well, this one doesn't have an actual planet on it this time, which is unfortunate. He also does have a decoder, but since, well, this guy didn't have an actual planet on the map, I decided not to get that out. If you want to see the decoder, just look at my Hoist review. Here we can see his name's actually Autobot Grapple, so they had to add the Autobot prefix. I think it was for trademark reasons, because the previous toy had to be called Grapple, switching the E and the L. So Grapple's one of those names where trademark reasons has to add a prefix to the name. We can see that he's E10 when it comes to numbering. On the side, we got Grapple himself. He's actually got a claw accessory, which we'll get into soon. And he's also got the little, I guess, arm missile that he and Inferno normally have. Here we can see that he's a Voyager class. The top, where we just have an Autobot insignia, Transformers. The side where we have a couple of characters which I've already named in my Hoist review. The back where we have him in his robot mode. Got his vehicle mode, 16 steps. It shows that the claw is actually compatible with some ramp accessories. I'm pretty sure that guy's called Sound Barrier. He's technically a Battle Master, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy's name is Sound Barrier. Let's look at the bottom of the box. This copy's got a sticker. Apparently he cost £24. I actually didn't pay that much. I paid like £18 something. I'll just say I paid £19 for this, so technically that was a bargain. So I don't know how bargains work, because, well, I'm stupid, but I definitely paid less than £24 for this, so I'm definitely happy about that. But, well, let's have a look at the figure itself. As we can see, Grapple himself is an orange crane, like how he was in G1. And, well, if you prefer red fire trucks, then Kingdom did remold this guy into Inferno, and I do want to get that figure because I am a huge Inferno fan. So, yeah. But having a look at this guy, we can definitely see... Oop, I dropped it. Well, we can definitely see it's pretty detailed. A look at the front. We got, well, the Autobot insignia right in front. We got some headlights. Pretty sure that's a blast effect detailing there, which I'll get into in robot mode. Got some headlights on the top. Here we have the entire side. These would be stabilizers for when the crane's going to be lifting something, I'm pretty sure. The back, which got this hollow section. The other side, yeah, this is pretty accurate to how he looked in G1. The underneath, which doesn't have any kibble, which is amazing. And the crane arm does actually have articulation. Of course, it can lift up on a ratchet joint, and it can actually go 360. My voice cracked, but it can go 360, which the G1 toy couldn't do, which is amazing. So if you wanted to imagine he was picking up a huge girder, then he can. So yeah, that's definitely amazing. Now, while I do have G1 Inferno, I want to wait until I get Kingdom Inferno before I do a comparison, so yeah, probably have a long time to wait before I get Kingdom Inferno. Thanks, scalpers. Yeah, but, well, if I did have G1 Grapple, then I would do a comparison, but yeah, I don't. So let's just get on to the accessories. First of all, we have this little missile thing, which, well, if you have either G1 Inferno or Grapple, you know what this is. This would plug into one of the arms in the robot mode. And this actually does have a place in the crane mode. This can just go onto here. There's an actual spot for it. Next is this claw, which, if you remember, could actually hold a ramp. I don't have any ramps, sadly, but, well, you can just move the hook up, plug this in. There we go. So I guess now it could be a big crane machine. But finally, he also has this big gun. And that can also peg on a couple ways. I mean, we got this, Yeah, there's a couple ports, so yeah. I suppose if you wanted to, this could be an option, although it's a bit loose. But yeah, what I normally do is I just plug it in here. So here we have him fully armed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And well, that's pretty much it for the crane mode. I do really like it. Just getting the accessories off. You know, one thing that baffles me is, why did we not get a Generation Select Hauler from this mold? That would have been perfect. I mean, they could have painted this guy in green, called it Hauler, and then sold it as a Generation Selects figure. But they didn't do that. They did do Artfire from the Inferno mold, but they never did Hauler. That's a missed opportunity. I mean, maybe with the upcoming Legacy toy line, they might do Hauler Den. Probably not, but I'm just brainstorming. But yeah, I so wish that they recolored this guy into Hauler. That would have been cool. But well, let's get on to the transformation. Okay, let's start by folding this up. Trying to push the actual crane arm in. Just getting this out of the way. Unpeg this. Get that down. Now, with this section, you have to be very careful. Because, well, as you can see, normally there's a peg here that goes into here. But it goes in really tightly. And if you try to pull it out, it can just rip off. So, well, if anything, I think you'd want to just shear that down first. Maybe with like a bit of sandpaper. But yeah, I was just too excited to transform it so I was a bit stupid, but unfortunately I can't use this foot for any combat system purposes, so oh well. At least he still holds together in the crane mode, but yeah. As you can see, he has the actual tab here, but not here. That's because this one sheared off and is stuck in here. So be careful. But you see, we got this. Just leave that hanging for now. The feet are just like how they were in G1. As you can see. Fold the arms around. I'm going to transform the hands last. With this bit, just like with G1, fold the head around. According all this up into here. And this just tabs in. This goes down onto the back. And here we have his robot mode. And depending on what weaponry you have, just either keep the hands folded around so they're like this, or actually fold around the hands so he's got actual fists. So yeah, here we have Grapple in his robot mode. And while the transformation is pretty accurate to G1 Grapple, and if anything, also it's also accurate to Inferno because, well, if you have Kingdom Inferno, keep in mind the tab can also break. Ooh. Okay, let's have a look at Grapple's head, which we can see is actually colored orange, which is accurate to how he sometimes looked in the G1 series. I mean, sometimes his head was orange, sometimes it was black. It just depended. Okay, so let's look at the let's have a look at the articulation before I show the accessories and how they're compatible with blast effects. Well, the head just turns around. Arms can, of course, move. Of course, you can T-pose. The elbows can rotate. I don't think there's any wrist articulation, unfortunately. But his waist can rotate. His legs can go forward. Didn't go back that far. His knees are around 90 degrees. But they kind of swivel at the thigh, I'd say. And of course, he does have some really good ankle pivot. So he can do this. Now, of course, sorry, I was just getting up to get my blast effects from my accessory tub. Now, of course, he is compatible with blast effects, and well, as you know, I only have the ones that come with aimless as of right now, but he's got a port here on his foot. one on his shoulder and one here. So he can be shot right on the foot. He can be shot in the shoulder. If I can get it on. Or he can be shot right here. Or if you've managed to do the transformation correctly and not get this bit sheared off, he could theoretically have jetpack feet. Although I guess if you do have a bit of blue type, this could still work. Now his weaponry, well, his gun is of course blast. Well, his gun can accept blast effects, as can this. So you can transform one hand. Put this in where the port is. Put the gun in his hand, and if the blast effect's falling off. There you go, so it looks like he's firing. But that leaves the claw with nowhere to go. Sure, you can like put it here on the side of his head, but I find that just looks ridiculous. You can also put it here, but that just makes it look like he's got a scorpion tail. There you get what I mean? You see, you're just turning Grapple into a scorpion. So, yeah. So what I prefer to do is something like this. Just try and get the weapons off, which getting the missile hand off is a bit hard to do. Transform the hands around, so have it so I have it so this hand is showing, but this hand is in the port mode. Oop, dropped the claw by accident. Have it so the claw is in this hand, so he's like being creepy. Put the gun in this hand, and then with the missile, I just put it on its little resting spot on the crane arm. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah, it's a bit inaccurate because, you know, Grapple usually has a missile arm, or at least I'm pretty sure he does, but, well, it's just that the claw doesn't really have any other good looking places to store, so this is what I prefer to do. I mean, another thing that you could do is have it so he has the claw arm here and the missile arm here, and have it so the gun is on one of these ports, because that could actually homage the little gun that was on here on G1 Inferno. I mean, you could do that, but this is just how I prefer to display it. So, yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. Complaints? Well, of course, the breakage issue. Sure, you can sand it down, but, well, I didn't do that, so I'm just angry. I'm angry at myself for not doing that. And I just think, what was with the quality control during Earthrise? I mean, I know we had the whole pandemic thing, but still. I mean, he can still transform that pretty well, but I can't use this foot for any combat purposes, so if I get any weaponizers, which may not be anytime soon, because I can't find any online, But if I do get any weaponizers if I do get any weaponizers, modulators, or fossilizers in the future, I can't do crazy combinations with the feat of with grapple, unfortunately. So that sucks. But well, if anything, I can't speak. That's actually not my only complaint. I was gonna say that's the only complaint I can think of, but it's not. My second complaint is the claw. I just wish it had a better place to store. Like, maybe if there was like a port on the actual crane arm, or just it could just wrap around and just stay there. I don't know. In fact, I think I remember like the box actually shows you some weird place to store it. Hey, see, it tells you to store it on the side there. That looks ridiculous. So yeah, I just have it put where I think it looks best in both modes. So it's hard to find good places to store the core accessory in both modes. Although I'd feel it's more hard to find a place to put it in robot modes, because, well, if you have it so you have both the core and missile accessories in robot mode, then he doesn't have any hands, so that sucks. So, but those are the only two complaints I can think of. So, do I recommend this guy? Well, I'd say if you want this guy, be careful with the transformation. Remember, the peg can shear off if you're not careful and if you don't sand it down. So if you're a hardcore grapple fan, which I'm sure there is someone who actually is, be careful. In fact, another issue I've had is this guy's actually managed to kill my flight stand. I tried to put it into port, and when I got it out, it just broke off. So I'm gonna have to try and look for another flight stand online. So yeah. So I just say be careful of this guy when it comes to handling him, because the pegs could come off during transformation, and if you have a flight stand, be really careful, especially if the flight stand is translucent plastic like mine was. So yeah, I do recommend him because he looks cool, but be very careful with him. Well, this has been my review on Earthrise Grapple, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.